Hello and welcome back. Somebody wanted to know which Atlas passives I will take, so I make my obligatory video as well. First of all, for the new Atlas tree, Haewark Hamlet, try to mark the ones that I will take as soon as possible in green, and the ones that I consider in yellow. I don't think I will go with the Metamorphs at the start, maybe at the very end when I have enough damage to deal with them. But for the start, I think the best in Haewark Hamlet are the Immortal Syndicates and Harvest, or you can go with Essence Farming to gear out quicker. But I really want to have the Harvest at the end game. I think the Forbidden Shaco will be really expensive, and the Sacred Blossom as well, and that's why I want to farm that. And I also need a Paradoxica, that's why I will farm Immortal Syndicates, and I will only take the Bribery if the safe houses are considered within this bribery node. So for example, maybe you can drop 2 Paradoxica or 3 even. If the Syndicate Hideout Leader drops 1, then maybe you can get 3 or other uniques from them. For Valdo's Rest, I don't plan on going to Delve in the early game, maybe once I hit level 19 and get the slight boost. Or if I have too much soul fight, then I will spend it, but probably sideways and not downwards. I plan on taking the Blight ones first, because they are really decent money. And for Delirium, I think I would take it next. The Delirium Orbs are more reliably available, so I'm not sure if I really want to go with that route first or second. The yellow ones are where I'm not certain, and maybe I'm taking Diplomatic Escort if I can get an auspicious watchstone, where they can drop more valuable currency, but most likely not, because it usually is expensive unless I roll it by accident. I think the strong boxes and the corrupted strong boxes, which you can open twice, double, they are usually really good for 6-links, but in this league I think we have an overflow of 6-links, so you shouldn't really have a problem getting one. Maybe you can get your first one for a divine or something, like really cheap. For Glennarch Cairns, I will definitely get Elder first, all of them, because Elder is the most important part of this league, or the most important master, because you want to double corrupt your items, for example your chest, and then you imprint it 3 times with some new mods. Legion is also really nice. Once you unlock it on the map device, then I think it would be viable to take these 4 nodes. Then you probably should be in a progress where you are like at 6 or 8 passive points for this, and then you can get the last 2 at the end game, and then you should usually have the Senna mod unlocked. In the very end game, I'm very likely going to go with Beyond on the left side. If you want to do the Chaos recipe, then the Total Anarchy and Rogue Trader is kind of viable because they drop a lot of loot. If you could get the Sextants, unique monsters are possessed by a ghost, or only the rogues are possessed by ghosts with like 25% chance. If you can steal these rolls very cheaply, then you could go with this strategy, because you will drop a lot of rares, but most of the time it isn't that valuable, and you won't do the Chaos recipe anymore once the stones are available, in my opinion. For the Abyss, you can go with the increased XP, which is kind of nice. The Lightless Legion, where you get way better bases, but you can get the new bases now from the Blight Encounter and the Ravaged Blight Encounter. So if you're in a trade league, you should get quite a bit. And if you're in hardcore, maybe then this becomes more valuable, because the Abyss is less rippy than a Blight Ravaged Encounter, very likely. Protracted Battle shouldn't be taken with the increased duration in the Legion encounter, and the mobs take increased damage. Suzerain said it once that if you can't open them all, then you shouldn't, because then you get one shot once they're all out of stasis, and that's stuck in my memory, and that's why I won't take it ever. For Lira Arthain, it's kind of difficult. I want to take the invasion stuff and the breach, but I'm not sure which one I would start with. I think the exotic goods gives easy 5-links, and once I had like 3x drop from one invasion boss, I would like to get the watchstones and then farm this, but they aren't that valuable in my opinion if you are in Trade League. For the breaches, they're really good for Chaos Recipe and accidentally dropping like pure breach stones. And I kind of want to get watchstones ASAP with the Julia chance increase and from those. And Bestiary, I think I will take at the end game when the beasts become way more valuable, when people start splitting and imprinting the items. Then I will likely take these 4 ASAP and the other ones also very likely. Or if the breach stones are dirt cheap. I never really liked the blueprint farming and Smuggler's Cage, then I think I won't take those. And for the Expedition League, I'm really not too sure, but these look way stronger than they were in Expedition League. I kind of want to see the small nodes, how effective they are. Then I could consider how often it would proc and if it's worth it. And finally, for the Uncharted Realm, the first node that I usually take is Secrets of the Stone, because I buy my watchstones really early on and then I get big buffs. Then I usually take the neural pathways, so I can drop some synthesis maps, because the cortex is usually worth like 4x. Then I get a big chunk of money, occasionally, at 1% chance. And I will take Remnants of the Past, so I get increased chances to get Elder and Shaper maps. And Scissoran mentioned that Close Allies is so good, but I actually never took it, so maybe I consider that now. The yellow ones are what I would consider occasionally. I will very likely take the Enduring Influence once I use Sextants, which should be really early on. And then the other ones are if you do something in bulk. For example, if you farm your Shaper Guardians and Elder Guardians, then you want to take Guardian 8 and all the other stuff that is correlating to improve your chances of getting something good. And then when you do the Elder, you take this node for Gaze into the Abyss. Then if you farm Cyrus, then you can take these nodes, these 6, and the Awakening level is usually good for most builds, unless you do a specific Atlas strategy where you only run like with Awakening level 5 or whatever it is now. Echoes of War I wouldn't take unless you really need to get some bases. Master of the Atlas, maybe if you farm the Senna missions and hope for harvests, then that works as well. If you brute force synthesis maps, then you can get these nodes for some better bases. And this one isn't updated yet. It's just the 3.16 maps that are new and interesting, but they don't really have to correlate with the map besides, or the strategy besides. These are just the watchstones. These 4 regions stay the same. The Turns End, Lex Proxima, Lexijoris and New Vestir get removed. So they have a new strategy now, and Kadiro is removed as well. And I need to adapt the new regions to what they are correlating now, and I try to update it, maybe before league start, or once we get the PoE DB data mining, and know if there are any new watchstones, and then I can update it. But these should stay intact. The green ones should work, the red ones need to be swapped towards the green ones. And the link to the Atlas strategy, currently 3.15 still, will be in the description. And only 3% of the viewers are actually subscribed. Please let me know in the comments, if you haven't subscribed yet, when you would consider subscribing, so I can improve my content accordingly. And thanks for watching. Until next time. Bye bye.